Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Davison, and you're watching Conversations in Pop Culture, and we are back to the basics. And before I introduce my guest, I do want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by PocketJack Comics, with books like Palace of the Golden Princess and White Lily, and you can find their books at PocketJackComics.com, as well as they are currently being distributed by Philbook Distributions. And obviously, Phil Russell has been on my show, and if you're looking to distribute your books or print your books, they got some cool stuff going on over there too, and you should go check it out. Because obviously I like competition, and there's a lot of stuff going on in comics, and you should try to get the best price you can get. But enough about that. I'm not paid on that end to say that. I just think that it's a cool thing he's doing, and he's a friend of mine. So anyway, but enough of that. I have with me, who's back for the first time in a while, Chuck Pineau. So welcome back to the show.
What's up, man? Yeah, literally been years. Literally been years.
Yeah, well, in my defense and your defense, what happens, and I think this is okay to say it, is that things happen in life in generally. And then also what happens is that I'm interviewing a lot of people. So I'm interviewing anywhere from 100 to 150 people a year. And sometimes somebody doesn't come across my feed, or sometimes just I get booked up, or it's just like, oh man, I got to get Chuck on. And then it just never happens. So, and that happens in life a lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then, holy fuck, it's been 5 years. Where the fuck have you been? No, that's exactly what happens. But that's usually how my world works. It's nothing.
I would say you were different, though, in this case. Because you actually contacted me multiple times over the years. And you were like, hey, man, if you ever want on, blah, blah, blah. But like for me, I got divorced about 2 years ago and have just been, I moved back up to Canada. And so been getting my life back together. Like just really getting into comics and really like getting my whole back. Well, I mean, I'd still been working, but I was kind of quiet about it. And so, yeah. But you said to me, you sent me a message. You were like, hey, man, if you want on, I'm like, actually, I'm doing a bunch of shit. I got books on here. Actually have multiple books on that I'm working on right now. I think I've got like 3 or 4 comics on Kickstarter right now. So I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like I need to pull off the Band-Aid and just fucking do it. And who better to do it with than Andrew Davis, right?
Yeah, right. No, because I just shoot out messages to everybody, and what I say, hey, you got anything? Because again, it is your responsibility. And I'll just say this because I'm going to say it anyway, and then we're going to get into all the good stuff. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, who you are, a little bit before we get into what's going on. But I'm going to just say it anyways, that it's your responsibility if you have a project to contact media. It's not my responsibility to contact you. I contact people. I hit people up all the time. But, I don't get to everybody because, well, I hate to say it. I'm going to say a truth that's not so great to say is that I don't see everything on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or wherever else.
No.
I'm sorry. Did I break the fourth wall here? Maybe.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah, exactly. But this is why I say people should hit me up. Like the worst thing that I'm going to say is no thank you. That's the worst I'm going to say. But anyway, enough about that. So obviously, since we're on this topic, I figured I would let you introduce who you are because as you stated and you alluded to, you have a lot of stuff that you've done. A lot of stuff has happened. You've taken a break for good reasons and a step back, and now you're back in the game. But that doesn't dismiss everything you've done prior to taking a
totally
hiatus. But why don't you introduce who you are for those who don't know who you are?
All right, I can do that. I am Chuck Pineau. I am a Ringo-nominated writer and editor for comics, and I also write novels. I'm currently actually the chief creative officer over at Ethereal Comics. I edit most of their titles now, and currently I'm writing 5 of the titles. I think we've got like somewhere between 15 and 20 titles, like just stupid number of titles. But I also still do my freelance work. I write freelance, I edit freelance. So I'm always keeping busy. And so I'm like right back into comics again, doing it in. Just did Free Comic Book Day for the first time in 2 years the other day, which was so good. It couldn't have gone any better, buddy. Couldn't have gone any better. So so glad to be back doing comics again, and now doing it up here in Canada and meeting all the Canadian fans and shit. It's just badass.
So I want to get into a bunch of this, but see, I don't usually get to speak to editors. The last few editors I spoke to, obviously I had Denny O'Neil on early on in my career, one of the best editors, hands down. And I'll debate anybody on that topic. And you will lose.
He's done, dude. Denny has worked on some serious shit. Denny did a lot of Batman shit, right? Yeah,
Oh, he's
yeah.
great. He's great. Rest in peace, Denny O'Neil.
Yeah.
But love Denny O'Neil. He was great. The mistake I made is not going to his house to do that interview. But I digress. It's not about me. But I want to talk about editing because I had Terry Cavanaugh on as well, who did a lot of editing for Marvel back in the day. So,
Yeah.
but like, I don't usually get to speak to the editing side in comics because, and I don't think you need an editor. I don't think it's like a mandate or a commandment, but I think it can help, right, a lot. And I think that there's multiple editors, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here. There's somebody just spell checking me, and that's editing. But there's also the other side of creative editing.
Yeah.
And those two things are different completely. They're both valid, but creative editing is very different. And I'm taking an assumption, and correct me if I'm wrong here. You're a creative editor, not necessarily spell checking somebody's thing. Somebody doesn't hire you. Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, no, I totally know. No, so I'm all of it. When you hire me, you get like, I basically want to do the whole package. So yeah, I go through and I proofread too. And I like to say between Grammarly and I, we can get all of it. So, between the two of those, we'll get it. We'll catch it all. But mostly I'm a creative, so I'm feeling out your pacing, your character voices, your plots, all that. Like, that's the stuff I love. I even over at Ethereal, a lot of what I do is also art direction. So I'm not an artist, but I know what's supposed to work and what doesn't, and how the eye is supposed to work on the page. I can edit lettering, and so what will happen is a lot of times, again, we're at any point in time, we're working on like 6 different books in art. And so what will happen is I'll get a page from someone and they're just like, hey, this is Fallen Leaves issue 6, page 17. And they'll send me a rough of the page. So now I got to go to that script, look through and make sure that what they've roughed out makes sense to the page, that there's enough room for the lettering, because that's important too, that it all makes sense, that everything moves properly, and that it all makes sense, that you're not missing anything, even that it connects to the page before, because sometimes like we've had certain things where artists can screw up dimensions and stuff like that. You're like, no, that character is not that big, you got to shorten them down, you got to do this, especially when you're working with like fantasy stuff, like we have dwarven characters and giants and stuff like that, so you got to make sure that everything works out. And so yeah, there's a lot to it, and I adore most of it, and I deal with the rest of it.
Because the reason why I bring this up is that you and I have both read books that needed an editor. Oh, without a doubt. And it's not that the concept's bad, or sometimes the concept is bad. I'm not going to dismiss that argument either. But there is a position where it's like, sometimes you read a book and you're like, man, this book needed an editor. And maybe they didn't need like the top-down super duper treatment and taking an axe to it and grinding it down to its core.
Yeah.
But it needed, somebody to look over it and say, you need to really hash out this plot point, because I don't want to get a shitty product. I don't know how you feel, but like, and I'm not, and look, big two, DC and Marvel, they release shitty products too sometimes as well. So, I mean, but like, this is where I think this gets complicated, because being an editor is so crucial. And I get that it's another expense added on when you're making indie books, but at the same time, it does create a better product, I think.
It does, and editing is actually one of the, I'll tell people, editing is one of the cheaper aspects of it too. Like I would say letterer, editor, and then writer usually is the way it ends up going. And then of course, all the artists on top of that per page. So yeah, actually, I think most books end up needing at least someone else to look at it and check it out and give it an eye. And yeah, man. I mean, I think I lost myself there, but yeah, I think it's important. And again, we're not that expensive in compared to a lot of the other people working on a book. So I feel like you can make, sometimes it's just like, hey, one less cover, and you can afford that editor. And I've said that to guys before. I'm like, man, just drop one fucking cover. And you got me. And he's like, but I love my covers. I'm like, yeah, but wouldn't you like something good in between the covers? Wouldn't that be great too? Wouldn't it be nice to have a book you can be proud of? Because I can help make that happen. Get rid of one fucking cover. That guy's not even a great artist. Get rid of him. It's concept shit.
That's the quote of the day. No.
I worked with him. He's a dick anyways. Fucking get rid of that guy.
Because I mean,
I didn't mention to name people, but some of you know.
You're bringing up a good point though, because thinking long term, right? You need to because great a cover. If you do a limited 200 cover, there's nothing wrong with that, and it's cool art, and it can get your book funded. But at some point, you're either going to do a graphic novel, or you're going to do a reissue of some books, or something of this. And don't you want a product that lives beyond just the cover, right? I don't know how to explain that, right? I mean, maybe it's I think differently, right?
So, no, I think you're on. So the way I always explain it is good cover, good art that will sell that issue. But good interior, good story, all that stuff, it will sell the rest of the issues. So if someone looks at that and they go, I love that, I'm going to pick up that book. That's great. But if they then read it, they go through it, that's when they go, well, I'm fucking buying the next one and the one after too, because I got to keep going. So it's easy enough to sell one issue of a book. But if you want to keep people coming back, you got to make sure that what's in between those covers matters. And that's where I come in.
No, it makes sense because again, I want repeat customers. Yeah. I want repeat customers, right? Like my business, I would say 25% of my eBay business is built on repeat customers. So they're they know I'm gonna get certain things, and I know, and I have a profile, and so I'll buy something that I don't think, personally, I wouldn't buy if I didn't have the repeat customers. But I buy it because I know they're gonna buy it. If that makes any sense.
And that makes perfect sense. One of your guys says to you, "Hey, man, I know you don't usually sell it, but the My Little Pony and Transformers crossover, I really want it. Can you find that for me?" And you're like, "Fuck yeah, buddy! I'd rather you spent money with me." And you might not. You might make like almost no money off of it because but that guy knows now he can fucking come to you and always get what he wants. He doesn't have to go anywhere else.
I also get the rare stuff. Like I pulled in about 3 limited 30 cards, and so the previous people who are buying from me, they know I have. They know I have it, and they know they asked me before I even listed it, and it was great. It was great. But I digress because I think it's so interesting, right? Because I think that people sometimes don't think, and they think top up and the shiny thing, and that's fine. Yeah. It makes sense. But you could get me, anybody at any point can get me to buy something for the first time with something cool and flashy. The question is that, am I going to buy issue 2, 3, 4, 5?
That's it. And that's where I come in. That's what I'm around for. Yeah. I need you to buy them all.
And I'll be honest with you. I mean, people, it's tricky, right? With Kickstarter. I'll ask you this, is that people also hunt variants, right? So people are just a Keith Garvey hunter, right? Yeah. I don't think Keith Garvey's going to mind me using his name because they're using it in a positive way. People say
he's good at what he does. He's amazing. He's a fantastic artist. Yeah,
he's great. I love Keith Garvey, and so people say I love a Keith Garvey cover. I don't really care about the book, what's inside the book. If they read the book, great, right? But they're coming for Keith Garvey, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Because people say I just like his art, and it's on this book, and then it's on somebody else's book, and then it's on 10 other Kickstarters, and they buy all 10 of those Kickstarters. But obviously, they might read what's in the book. And then they might come back for issue 2. But if it's a piece of shit, for lack of a better word here, they might say, I'm happy with my Keith Garvey cover. I'm happy with the product. When person A gets another Keith Garvey in, I'll buy it. But if it's only on issue 4, not issue 3, I'm not picking up issue 3.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, Ethereal is, we sell sexy books. And so those covers, for the most part, sell themselves. But I need for someone to read that and then go, oh, shit, regardless of the covers, I'm still going to pick up 2. Like I'm going to pick up the next one. I'm going to pick up 3. I'm going to, because, again, the cover sold the book. But it's my job to keep you buying the next one.
Not to put Ethereal here and not to put them in a category, and I'm going to probably get shit for it, but I was watching Patrick Bet David, and for those who don't know, the Daily Wire right now is in a bit of a struggle. And what Patrick Bet-David said is that you want to build a business on systems, not on personalities. So it's great that a sexy cover sells your book, right? That's the personality. The system is a good story.
And luckily we have Dustin, who is really good at setting up those systems and going, this is what we're doing. Like, he's very on top of all of that. So actually, I agree with that point.
So again, I'm presuming we're all adults and we all can critically think about it here. So some people can't. I'll be the first person to say that. But the idea is that you need both. It's okay to have a personality front and center, right? And sexy art and sexy covers. I mean, I bought Kill Cam issue 2. I don't even have issue 1, and I bought it because I like the cover of it. I'm the first one to say I saw that cover. I'm like, dude, that thing looks sick, right? It looks like it's like I don't even know what the hell the book is about, right?
Dude, so that's now one of my books, and I wrote the dialogue for that issue. I love that.
But I like the cover of it. I like looking at the cover of it, right? But the point is that this is where we get into personalities versus systems. Like Zenescope's another one. They have personalities essentially on their covers, but they have a whole goddamn fucking system.
They've had amazing people working on their books, writing and setting up the storylines and whatnot. Raven Gregory, fucking Pat Shand, like so many good dudes who are coming in. I believe Ron Mart's in there. One of those guys, like
Jenna Lynn, yes. or I think she's there. I don't know who else has been around in there,
but tons of great names. Like again, like you said, Zenescope has systems and personality. They got them both, and that's really the sweet spot.
And the reason why I bring this up is that it's a massive debate right now on Kickstarter. It's a massive debate on how to do this, because you need to fund your book, right? I mean, let's be realistic here. I mean, if your book doesn't fund on Ethereal, you can't make your product. I mean, like you need to fund it. Like, I mean, I'm saying the dirty word aloud, right? Like you need to be able to fund your shit, and it's how you want to fund it. And I don't want to say you're making a deal with the devil, because that's not appropriate to say it that way. But it kind of, it's like you got to pay Piper his due to get your shit done to some degree. But I digress. I don't want to get us in too much trouble on this whole system. Because next thing you know, you and me are both going to be unemployed. Because one of us is already unemployed. Like one of us is already not having a job. So,
no, but that is what I love about this show. Is like we can talk some shit. I like talking a little bit of shit.
We're not talking. No. We're having an honest adult conversation.
Yeah. That's exactly it. A nuanced conversation.
But one of us is unemployed. I don't know if you're unemployed, but I'm unemployed.
Yeah, I'm working for Ethereal, so I'm definitely employed on some level.
I will be employed hopefully soon enough in the next 6 weeks, ideally.
You got your own company too, right?
Sort of. I mean, eBay is a side hustle. It's not really.
It's not putting your kids through college.
on a full exit, it will. On a full exit, it will. If I was to liquidate the whole merchandise position, I'd walk away with mid 7 figures. Which is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. What my personal collection is worth.
So you got some fucking inventory going on.
I have. So when you're in my business, right, what happens is that stuff comes across your desk dirt cheap that appreciates nicely. And that's part of the issue that gets in your personal collection, because you have privileges on a merchandise eBay business where all of a sudden somebody brings you something like they want $250 for it and they're happy to take it, or you're just doing your business and things come across it in collections that you pick up or cards you pick up, or you pull boxes and you pull the card, right? Like this isn't, I mean, things happen when you're in certain businesses. I would imagine in your business and in comics, you get to meet certain people and potentially have certain conversations with people that others might not have the privilege of having.
Yeah, I mean, I've met some really cool people, and I met one of the creators of Deadpool, not Liefeld, the writer
Fabian?
whom pardon?
Or Fabian, maybe?
I don't think it wasn't Fabian Caesar. It was I always I always forget his name. Anyways, great dude. I love his work, and I sound like I'm full of shit because I can't remember his name. But we got to talking, and I said to him, I said, "Hey, I want to become like a writer, editor in comics. How do you do that?" And he was so blunt, but like in all the right ways. He looked me dead in the face, and he said, "Honestly, my best advice is be in Brooklyn in 1986." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Dude, I have no fucking clue how you would possibly get into comics now. Like, it's so difficult. I have no idea." He goes, "If I tried now, I wouldn't get in there. I just wouldn't." And I was like, "Fuck, okay, good to know." Actually, like that's helpful that even the pros now are going, "I have no fucking idea." Like, I mean, we're having to do the same stuff as like guys like Brian Michael Bendis, where you've got to make a name for yourself in indie in the hopes that eventually you can shift over to the big boys. And it's hard because indie's filled.
Okay, so let's talk about this because I wanted to do this in the reverse order, but we're doing it this way instead.
Okay.
Which, by the way, the Pistons won, so I want everybody to understand that I'm very happy today. I put $50 on the Pistons, and I just won 30 off of my 50. So that's a good rate of return. I mean,
yeah.
And then I put another like $250 on the Pistons too, so I won even more money. But not the point here. It's a decent day. And I do not want to touch the Lakers versus OKC because that game scares the shit out of me. That game's a toss up. I
don't bet. Yeah,
game, but I don't want to touch it. Right? I know when to stop is the point. But
good call.
I do want to get into this because comics, in my viewpoint, are so oversaturated. And I'll tell you my opinion as a collector. I remember one of my favorite books I have about 5 favorite books. 3 of them are J. Scott Campbell's. So 601 is one of my favorite books, and then it's Sidekick, which he did, which is Chat Lenore, and it's Black Cat coming out. It's the Mary Jane book.
Yeah.
Black Cat. Love that book, right? Awesome book. I paid more for an unsigned copy than a signed copy because because I want the unsigned copy graded, and I don't want his things on it, which I think it makes complete sense, right? So perfectly fine on that point. Happy to pay you like $20 more for what I want because I'm going to get a graded, beautiful book. It's going to look beautiful next to my 601. And then I love my J. Scott Campbell Midtown connecting covers that he did. But like I remember when that was a big deal because he was so limited in doing this. And now J. Scott Campbell, every week, he's got 10 variants coming out. And so he has, I think last year he had like 250 variants. It's no longer special to get a J. Scott Campbell variant. No. And the art is awesome because art is cool, right? When you have such oversaturation of covers and comics and ideas, I don't even know how I can keep up on a table economics for 5 seconds here.
Yeah.
I don't know how I keep up on just, oh, you got this book, you got this book, you got this book, you got this book. It's like I just can't. It's physically impossible. It's like a full-time job to keep up. And then furthermore, you type in money on that. If everybody's book is $12, I mean, and there's 100 books, I mean, that's a lot of fucking money. I mean, I don't know about you, but like, when I had a job, I wasn't broke, but I don't have an infinite amount of money. Oh. It's like I pick and choose. I have a budget. I have a fun budget every month, right? And once that budget's gone, it's like I got to pick and choose. So like, and then it gets even more crazy because then I don't even know what's good. And so like, it raises real questions is that like, I find it oversaturated. And this is not even me in the business. This is me as a fan.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily think you're wrong, but like,
I'm not saying about that. Like, I want to make that crystal clear. I'm not saying that this is
exactly like, right. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you can't just stop making them. What you got to do is you just got to keep upping your game. You got to do a good job, and you got to try to do the stuff that you think people are going to give a shit about. So I'm not gonna get me a J. Scott Campbell cover right now because no one's gonna give a shit about it. Maybe they will because I'm nobody, but for the most part, I don't think it's gonna do anything. So instead, I'm gonna do something different and do something that other people aren't doing in the hopes that people go, oh, you know what? Okay, so I've seen that a million times. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's interesting. And that's where I want to be right now. I want to be in that, like, what the fuck are they doing over there? And honestly, it's kind of ethereal. Like for me, anyways, like we're doing sexy, but we're also doing really interesting, provocative stories. We're having a lot of fun. We're doing adult stories, but not washed out, and we're not forcing the sexy. The sexy is a part of it, but we're really trying to bring excitement and entertainment and interest to the field. And so it's just like, hey, yeah, you want to see something weird, it's all over there, it's right there. If you want your J. Scott Campbells, they're there. But the weird, that's where I want to be. I want to be in that spot.
So let's talk about that. So the trippiest 3 interviews I've ever done was Sasha Nakamoto, Evie Akasha, and Lilith Fukumoto. Okay. So the reason why they are so weird, I don't know if you saw any of those 3. They
Fukumoto, I did.
Yeah. They're all fucking trippy. They're all, I guess, siblings might be a good way how to put it. But they're not siblings. So what they are is that they are real video game engine high-end VTubers that are cam girls.
Okay.
So it's a person who has motion sensors on them, who's doing it, who's voicing. But the thing is, it's like Resident Evil Remake 4 level, like fiduciary, like all that shit. And to run Sasha, it probably runs about maybe like 40 grand a month. Yeah. So I mean, this is like next level because it's not AI, right? It's not AI, but it's not. It's a real video game engine. What you're running. I mean, the dev space on that thing is insane, right? I mean, you're stacking probably close to maybe like 4 or 5 gigs of like or whatever the RAM max is. I'm not a computer guy. The point is that when I did that, everybody's like, "What the fuck is this? It's trippy, right?" And it helps my show, and it still helps because the replay of that definitely gets, I would say, every week, like maybe like 70, 80 views without any promotion, each of those. And it drives traffic. But the idea is that like it's that trippy shit that makes people say, okay, I gotta stop here. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I think this is part of the issue in comics is that everything has been so fucking redone that you need a fresh idea. Because you can only tell Batman's origin story so many times before I say I know how this ends, right? I mean, have you ever? I'll ask you this: when was the last movie you said, "Great"? Like this is fresh, original, and I didn't see anything coming in this.
So actually, recently, for me, I'd never read the book or anything. Project Hail Mary. I loved that movie. Did it feel like other things? Okay, I would say it was like a mixture of like The Martian, obviously, and Castaway or something like that. But the connection with the alien and that kind of stuff, like that was something that I hadn't really seen before. And I really dug it a lot. And I've been talking about that movie a lot. I just thought it was really cool. It was really interesting. And really just having like one main character talking with a rock for almost 2 hours. It shouldn't have been entertaining, and yet I was super fucking entertained.
It was like The Martian. It was exactly like The Martian, and it was great.
I never watched The Martian even, but yeah, like
The Martian was extraordinarily. I mean, there was more than one character in The Martian, but it wasn't a big cast.
But
it was witty, sarcastic, and Project Hail Mary. I don't think it was as sarcastic as The Martian, but I enjoyed Project Hail Mary, and I want to read the book. I mean, it's on my reading list, but I'm backed up by about 6 books. But the point I'm making is that like that's where I think you have to get creative, right? And this is where I think companies are getting fascinating, right? Because there's nothing wrong with giving me. I mean, Roman Reigns said it. He said, missionary over and over and over again. And it's one of the greatest wrestling promos because it's true. He's talking about it. But it's the idea that like there's nothing wrong with giving me that too, but I also want something fresh. Like Dan Housing in WWE is a fresh idea. And so, but I'm just curious what you thought on that because I am a fan and I am getting bored. And if I am getting bored in comics, that's a problem.
I mean, I agree with the statement. So for me, I simply don't have the money or time to be reading a lot. So what I'm doing is I read the works that I work on. You know what I mean? Like I'm mostly at this point producing and less taking in stuff. So I do read when I have a chance, but as far as new stuff, and again, it's not an attack on people who are making comics right now. It's really simply just like a financial and a business decision, and that is financially, I don't have the money, and business wise, I'm just working too much. That like by the time I've finished writing this, editing that, blah blah blah, I don't want to fucking read anything else. You know what I mean? Like, give me a video game, give me a movie, let me binge something, let me do something else, let me hang out with people. Like, so it's definitely like I can't necessarily speak to that because at this point, as much as I am a comic fan, I'm not a modern comic fan because I'm not really reading them. I would talk to someone like a Travis Gibb who is reading everything that's coming out. I would talk to an Henri Compan, again, reading everything that's coming out right now. And I think, you know, they would have better things to say about that stuff. For me, yeah, I'm always worried that things are going to get boring. And that's why I try to make sure that my work isn't, you know, and when I'm working with people, I'll tell them like, dude, I've seen that. That's great, but like they did it better. So let's do something different. And even if it's not amazing, it's different enough that people will still come and check it out because they haven't fucking seen it.
No. I get it. I mean, and I agree in which that,
I feel where you're coming from.
also, I could tell you just because you mentioned the economics, right?
Yeah.
Big anime guy, right? Crunchyroll is $100 a year, right? I watch a lot of anime, so I'm also looking for the cheapest way I can enjoy the most, right? So like people give me shit when I say I have a Comixology subscription. Guess what? It's like $5 a month, and I get so much comics, new stuff, old stuff, a little bit of indie. I get a bunch of Dark Horse, and I can go back like 30 years. And guess what? It's all digital, so I don't feel shitty if I don't like something. Because the other thing, and I don't know how you feel about this, is that I don't have any more fucking space in my house because I have a lot of things, and I don't want. Every day I leave my house, right? And this is gonna sound crazy. I think there's gonna be a fire in my house, and all my shit's gonna burn out.
No, I know. I feel that. I would say even Global Comics. Have you checked out Global Comics?
Yeah, I know Global Comics.
Dude, they're great, and it's same as Comixology, man. I would say more indie, but the big boys are starting to get into there, and they're noticing it. They're going through that too, and yeah, like I understand having a subscription like that and just being able to read everything. Like, I mean, Ethereal is doing terrific over on Global Comics, and it's like, yeah, okay, you'd rather spend, you know, like you said, like $100 a year than having to spend $50 a month to get all the books that you want.
I want to rent the content to experiment in, and if I like it enough, I'll buy it.
Yeah, totally.
Like I watch stuff on Crunchyroll. I'll use this as an example because I know it better. Is that so? I watched Gundam IBO and I watched Gundam Double O. Love those shows. I bought them in Blu-ray. I got reincarnated as a vending machine. Love that show. It's absolutely batshit crazy. It's so enjoyable. It's a blast. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to own it, right? I want to watch it, but I don't want to own it. Does that make sense? So like there are comics that I want to read, but I don't want to own. Like I know it sounds mean that I don't want to own your book, for instance, right? But I want to read your book. I want to support comics, but I don't want to own your physical book because I don't need to, and I want to buy it for $3. Like,
and you doing that on like Comixology, that makes a difference to us. We get, you know, we get paid for views, but also people notice our numbers, how many people have read it, how many people have checked it out. So even if you're checking it out and you're reading it, someone else will come by and go, holy shit, like 1,000 people have read this book. Well, Andrew Davis was one of them, and he dug it. You didn't have to buy the book, but reading it still helped boost our numbers. So yeah, man, like I'm for it. I think it's cool, and especially something like Comixology or Global Comics where you can see how many people have read it and how many people have checked it out. that's just badass. It's terrific. It's so helpful.
It's also eco-friendly because even though I'm not an eco-friendly guy, I mean,
you're not an eco-friendly guy, really?
I'm not like going like, I'll put it this way, right?
Like,
I'm not.
I get it.
Solar energy. I'm not lobbying for the solar company. I'm not lobbying for the Green Party. Like I'm like, I like driving my gas-driven car. I like going fast. Every once in a while, I go get a supercar that runs really, really, really expensive on gas.
Did you guys not see Andrew Davis out there picketing with Greenpeace the other day? It was fucking awesome.
I mean, I enjoy driving a Hummer that gets like 1 mile per gallon.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, fuck the seals. I don't give a shit. This thing's badass.
Let me explain it. If you drive a Hummer, right, and one of the old ones that's like it gets like that type of gas, you feel like you're in a military zone, and it's awesome. Like you're above everybody. There's nothing like it. I'm not saying I want to make it my daily driver.
No, totally. I drove an H2 and I fell in love, and I only drove it the once, but dude, it was so much fun. I was like, okay, I get it now. Like I would make fun of guys like Schwarzenegger. I'm like, you don't need that kind of vehicle. And then I drove it around. I was like, all right, buddy, I get it, Arnie.
I felt like a guy was on a mission to go like rescue a hostage. Like that's how I felt. Like one of those original Hummers. It was great. I mean, I had a great day, right?
We need to get the extraction team settled up.
It was an expensive day on gas, but it's not like I drove around a lot. But
yeah,
my favorite car that I rented for like a week because I got a Dodge Challenger as a renter. Oh my god, that thing was fun. That thing was fun. And
yeah,
I want to buy one. No, I have no problem spending $90K on like a Dodge Challenger Hellcat.
I get it, man. You want to make fun of people, but I had a buddy come by one of the I was working at a barbecue stand in Texas, and this guy comes by with this like mid to late 80s Corvette, just gorgeous red. He just kind of fixed it up, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to drive one. He goes, oh, do you want to drive it? And I'm like, oh, come on, man. He's like, no, seriously, like we were buds. He's like, no, man, take it for a spin. There were some back roads there, and I opened her up on the back roads. I swear I was flying at one point, like just off the ground, floating, fucking DeLorean style, like just amazing. And I was like, oh shit, I get these speed demons now. I'm not a speed demon, but I get it. Like your stomach is up here in your neck, and you're just fucking flying. It was great.
I was in the passenger of a Lotus. That was cool.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
That's fun because the engine is in the back, so you feel the acceleration. When you're going 40 miles, it feels like you're going 70.
Yeah, like a normal car, it feels like it's being pulled, but like with something like that, you're being pushed. It's different.
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And then there's other stuff that I've been in. And then my friend has a Tesla, and those things are fun.
Oh, and yeah, I've always wanted to drive in one of those.
Oh, my God. He decided to self-test the self-driving on the GW bridge.
Couldn't do it. I'm too much of a control freak. I'd have to do it.
It merged perfectly.
Oh, I'm sure it's amazing. I'm too much of a control freak. I'd be like, fuck you, Tesla. I got this. You're probably a better driver than me. I still don't give a shit.
I wouldn't let it. I don't want to. If I get a Tesla, I'm not letting it self-drive itself. No,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no way. Like, maybe up my driveway.
Let me put it this way, right? Let's say that I need for 10 minutes. I need to deal with something, and I can't pay full attention. Maybe for 10 minutes, but ultimately not. But I digress. But I do want to get into some of this ethereal stuff because obviously you got a book going on right now. Right. I'm gonna get the name wrong, so hopefully Dustin, your boss, won't kill me for it. It's Cretaceous Biohazard, number 5.
Yeah,
issue 5. I don't know if I got the name right, but no,
I got it dead on. Yeah, no. So Cretaceous Biohazard 5 is on Kickstarter right now. I came in and did I came in and started at the end of 2024, like November, December. I came in, and one of the first things he had me do as far as writing was concerned, because I was just editing, was he said, "Hey man, I'm really busy. Would you write the dialogue for this book?" because the script was already done. Art was finished at that point. He's like, "Can you just write the dialogue?" So reread issue 1, went over, and I'd been reading all the issues and stuff, catching up on stuff. And I did the dialogue for it, and I felt it. I liked it. And he said, "You enjoy that?" And I'm like, yeah, it was good. And it was a new way of writing. I've never just written dialogue before. And he went, "Do you want to take it over?" And I went, "Fuck yeah, like I already have ideas." So he let me take over. Same thing happened with Kill Cam. I think I did dialogue for 2 and 3, and then 4 I just wrote on my own, and that was mine. So and now a lot of the books I'm writing, like they've started with me. So I'm writing I'm taking over Fallen Leaves for issue. I just did the script for issue 7 of Fallen Leaves, but the Forever Blue is one that I got to start on issue 1, and the other one was issue 1 and issue 2 have both kickstarted. And then what is it, from ashes to iron is another Fallen Leaves book, and that's a spin-off, and I'm writing that series as well. So it's been amazing to be able to get in there, get my hands dirty, write a bunch of scripts. Like, I mean, I'm already on issue 5 of Cretaceous, started on issue 2. Like, it's great. I'm so happy. And also what I love about working with Ethereal, because I do gush about them, is that I get to work with top-notch, amazing fucking artists, and I'm not paying them. I can't afford these motherfuckers. They're good. Like the Danny Hadayajas and the fucking, and I know I butchered his name, Hank Lamarca, like Trevor Gray's, like so many fucking cool dudes I've been able to work with, and their art is just fucking phenomenal.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Because it's interesting, because you're a work for hire, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think that there's any confidentiality or I'm stepping on anybody's toes there.
So I'm freelance everywhere, but for Ethereal, I work for the company. I have a paid monthly position, and I am a part of that. But everyone else, like, so Henri Compan, his book Yisun Shin 11, it's about to finish on Kickstarter in like 2 hours. Work for him freelance.
Just so because my question is that you're an employee, you're not an owner, right? There's two different things. So
correct.
When
Sorry, yes, correct.
Book, so Essence House, which you did, or Into the Void, right?
Mm-hmm. Those are mine. Yeah, I own those.
So nobody can take that away. You own the IP,
correct?
Right. So once because there's a difference, right? So I own this show, right? Nobody can take away. And I'm going to be applying for a podcast, and I won't be an owner of it, but I might be paid for it. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with either of that. By the way, so it's kind of like if you write Batman, right? You're being paid by DC to write Batman, right?
But I can't walk away and take Batman with me. Yeah, exactly.
So and the reason why I bring this up, though, is that there is something nice, though, when you're not footing a bill and you're like, I don't have to worry about the accounting. I don't have to worry about the printing, right? Like, you're not the one who has to worry about packing up the fucking book, right? Like, there's something to be nice where you get to see the product, you get to talk about the product, you get to go to a con and represent the product, but you don't have to do a bunch of labor. And I don't mean to like give it all to Dustin and be like, hey, you got all these other problems, man. Like, it's your company, right? Like,
it's true, man. And like I've said it to him too. I'm like, so. The Forever Blue, which I'm so proud of, again, like I got to work on that from issue 1, but the artist is Andy Dugan, who does work for Star Wars. He did Young Jedi Adventures for Dark Horse and Star Wars and stuff, I think it was. And then Whitney Cook is our colorist. SK is our letterer, and like they're all phenomenal people to work with. I fucking love that whole team. Pardon?
SK's been on my show.
Oh yeah, SK's awesome. I love that dude. But like that whole team, I can't fucking afford them. And here I am making a killer fucking book with all 4 of us. And it's just, the book's coming out like gangbusters. Like I just got the PDF of issue 1 and I read it and I was just so fucking happy. So happy. It's just such a good book. And it's because everybody was just working and just, you know what? Making the money that they're being paid. Like we all earned it. And so, yeah, man, it's just it's bonkers. It's awesome.
The reason why I bring this up is that I have to assume all the expenditure, and in my business, right?
No.
And I think people forget that there is something nice to be said when you're not fronting the bill. You still got to produce. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't fuck around. And ideally, but like when you're an employee or you're freelancing, you're just doing the work that you're doing, and then it's other people's departments to deal with it. So you're not necessarily having to go find the artist, right? You're not making the whole printing decision, and so you get a huge relief, right? Like
Yeah, I love not dealing with that shit.
I don't think people realize, like, if you go to my Instagram, I'm posting 2-3 times a day reels. I gotta build all that shit. It's not fun. I mean, it's not hard. I'm not dying here, but like,
it takes some time.
Oh my! I mean, in my case, all that shit was built because I go on interview cutting binges where I'll sit around for like 90 hours and we'll just cut shit up.
Like, again, that's your 90 hours, and if you were to be paid for it hourly, it's a lot of fucking money. So
I'll give an example. I know my rate. So if I'm to do a podcast for somebody from start to finish, all the positions of editing, getting a guest, building a script out, I would be charging $400-$500 per episode.
And I think that's actually generous.
I mean what that would include writing the script, recording it for an hour, then promoting it, then cutting up 10 pieces of micro content out of it to distribute to the person I'm doing and potentially posting. Yeah, it's fucking expensive. Because I mean, I actually think it's high personally, but at this stage in the game, after 1,300 of these, I'm expensive and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it unless I really give a shit about it.
Yeah.
The one I'm applying for, it's about baseball, and I would love to be paid to talk about baseball because that'd be so much fun. Being forced to have to watch baseball games, so I could be gambling on baseball games to be paid to talk about it would be great. It's called double dipping.
Yeah, totally. Would you be like, if you had the chance, would you be like one of those Barstool guys?
I'm gonna shoot them a message and see what they're looking for, but I'm not exactly sure. So it would be a co-host for a baseball thing, and I just think it would be talking about baseball. And I'm already in the business with cards and stuff, and I know so much about it.
Yeah.
It's that it would be a blast, and it's low hanging fruit for me. But I mean, Barstool's supposed to be a lot of fun to talk about baseball, but I am not at that level. I'm not at that level.
Right.
But I'm going to see what they're looking for because, again, it depends what they're looking for, right? It all depends what they're looking for, right?
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is that if I don't have to do all the editing, I don't have to do all that shit. It would be nice just to be able to do it, and then it goes to their editing team. It'd be great.
Yeah,
it'd be absolutely wonderful. So I get that, but obviously, I mean, to go further into this, I mean, chief creative officer. I mean, you're steering the ship in a lot of ways on creation.
And actually, I've to kind of follow your point, I've had writers say to me, "I'm not sure I could afford you as an editor." But the fact that I effectively get you for free just because I wrote for these guys and I'm getting paid for it, that's kind of badass. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, buddy. You're getting an editor you can't afford. You're getting artists you can't afford. You're getting all the shit. You're getting distribution that you don't have to worry about. And you get to say that you wrote and helped create this cool ass thing. And that's badass, man.
Did you also feel, because this is something that I think is interesting, right? So let's say you go, and then I'm not going to put a theory on the spot. Let's say you go and you write for DC Comics, right? And then you build a name for yourself, even if you're on a beat book at DC Comics, or you're writing a 6-page backup in Spider-Man or whatever it is, right? And you spend enough time there, you've built a name, you've built up credibility, and then when you want to go to your next gig, you have a resume builder, and you could also demand more. And then if we go and calculate that over at Ethereal, let's say that, you're an artist and you're working Ethereal and you have killer banger books for 3 or 4 years. When you want to go do your own project, you obviously have a following. Or when somebody else wants to seek you out and hire you, I mean, you could say I got a track record, and I mean, this is the debate. Do you build a name in indies by yourself, or do you work for somebody and then go to the indie path? Because that's the other thing too that I think people forget is that there are multiple ways how to do this.
Well, yeah, and I think every once in a while people need the reminder because I've met a lot of pros who did work for Marvel. And the thing is if Marvel, DC, the big boys, if they are your end game, then you're fucked. And I will tell you that ahead of time because only a very small number of the guys who even get to work there are going to stick around there and stay there. You're going to move on to other things. And a lot of those guys, like even like dudes like Joe Madureira, who I fucking love his art. He did all that stuff, but eventually he came back. He started doing his own stuff. He even moved on and started working in the video game field and stuff because he loves video games and shit. Like he found other places to go. And so with this, it's like build a name any fucking way you can and then go find something you love doing and go do it with that resume. That's why when we started today, I said I'm a Ringo nominated writer and editor. That is a true statement. But really, if you want me to break it down for you, I was a part of an anthology that had I think between 70 and 100 people on the book working on it and whatnot. And so did my thing that I did lead to our nomination? Probably not. There was a bunch of us in there and we all worked together. I mean, really, Travis is the one who was pushing it and stuff, but we did all earn that. So anyone who was on there, use it, So now I get to say, and I'll tell you, I've started, I'll tell people I'm a Ringo nominated and they take that shit seriously. It's true. But if you look it up, you'll realize, oh, it's for an anthology and he did help edit the book, but he wrote, I think I wrote like 10 pages in that book out of like the other 150, 200 pages. So I can't take full credit for that, but it's all true. So it's on the resume.
No, I use everything I got. I use everything I got.
Right, you fucking right.
It's because any position I can get, any leg I can get, I'm going to take. I'm going to run with it. I use connections. I use people. I mean, I tell them I'm going to use people. I've interviewed people knowing full well that they're going to open up doors for me. I mean, I can name drop Ariel X. Great name to drop when you need to drop it in certain sectors. If you know Ariel X, very helpful. Ariel X has also saved me a lot of money, but that's a different discussion for a different day. She gave me basically free access to Evolve Les fights for free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, real money. That's an expensive website. It's like $300 a year. So I have an unlimited premium account there for free.
That's cool.
It's fucking awesome. And then she sent me a shirt that I really can't wear out in public, but that's not the point either.
Those are the best shirts. Those are the best shirts.
Oh, it's one of the best shirts ever.
I don't even know what it is, folks. But any shirt where you're like, I probably shouldn't wear it out in public. Those are the good ones. Those are the ones you wear to the family reunions.
Oh no, my LSP shirt's awesome too. Every time I wear that shirt, all these guys come up to me and say, "Sir, I'd just like to shake your hand. That's an awesome shirt." So it's Bella Inc. fighting Jolene Hex, and it's Jolene Hex's ass is on the shirt. And I like wearing that shirt out a lot because usually people do, what the hell's that shirt about? And then I got that shirt for free too. But I digress here. But I agree that you got to use whatever you can use because any name you can drop effectively is going to help you. But then again, there are names that you should not drop that can hurt you. Yeah, I'll be the first person to say that too. You got to know what names to drop and who to drop them with.
And I've had to drop people even kind of in my own life and whatnot. And it was difficult, like as far as people I've worked with and whatnot, where I'm just like, sorry, man, I gotta make some room between us because I don't love what you're doing and it's not helping. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
It's interesting. So in order to get banned from my show, it takes a lot. So I will tell you what doesn't get you banned from my show. I have had serious debates with my sponsor, Preston Poulter, where I'm a Bitcoin guy, he's a gold guy, right? Those debates get heated, but he's still a sponsor of my show, and President's not banned from my show. We have a difference of idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what your politics are. It's not hard to figure out what mine are. I don't prolificate my politics to people, but a lot of people I disagree with, right? The way you get banned from my show is you personally attack me, you attack my family, you do something that I think, I'll say it. I got no problem saying is that there's certain people who are drawing artists, and when you draw Kim Possible topless, not a big fan of that. If you want to draw,
especially since she's a teenager, like she's
it upsets me. It upsets me. If you draw Hatsune Miku topless, I'm a little less concerned, right? We could have an ethical discussion about that, but there are people who I'm like, I don't want you on my show because you crossed the line there, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think you did something illegal, and I don't know the full law on this. I'm not a lawyer, but I definitely makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't mind Kim Possible on a cover in her cheerleader outfit because she wears that in the show.
Yeah.
That's a fair game, right? No problem with that. I'm not thrilled Kim Possible in a bikini, but her topless, she's a teenager. And then when you go full frontal noodle with Kim Possible, it's like, it makes me real uncomfortable. It makes me not want to have you on my show.
And you're pulling in, fans and stuff that I'm not sure I want watching my show.
No. It's not a ban, but there are rules. There are things that make me uncomfortable. But the way you get kicked off somebody's show, and it's the reason why you have to cut ties with people too, is that I can disagree with people and have them on my show all the time because it's not a political show, right? Yeah. But like, there's other people who go ape shit crazy, and then they do personal attacks, and then they start putting out weird shit, and they put out like conspiratorial theories, and I'm just like, yeah, this isn't good. This isn't good. And then I've seen infighting with people and real issues, and like, so like, that's how like I have to distance myself, and I think it's good to take stock of people.
Absolutely.
Every 5 years, I take stock of my friends. Every 5 years of my inner circle.
Doing it constantly, just like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Taking a look, and then every once in a while, it's like, all right, maybe I should send this person less messages. Maybe I should start the distance and see if they change at all, or even maybe mention it to them and just be like, hey, dude, are you sure this is the way you want to go? Because
I don't even do that. I just stop responding. It's things fall apart. People's attitudes change, ideas change, values change, and usually I'm not wrong. Usually I'm not wrong on it. In which that, like, I don't think my values have changed. People might not like my politics. That's fine, but I don't think my values have changed. But like that's where I'm at. Is that, and I say, great. Like, it doesn't work anymore. And I just systematically remove you from the system, and somebody will fill the spot.
Yeah.
It's clean. It's clean. It's so clean. It's so effective. It's like, I hate to say it this way, but like, if I need to reevaluate your position or you as an individual, you just get removed from the system after I find that, like, your problem. And I don't look back. I don't look back. I don't. It's great. It's awesome. And then I'm like, who's that?
It sounds pretty great because honestly, like, I'm give a fuck Chuck, right? Everyone sees it right up here, and I tend to care too much, and I'm the first one to admit that, and it's tough, but you just.
Oh, see, I hear so much shit about me, and I'm like, okay, don't listen to me. Don't. I mean, I'm doing me. I mean,
I'm not making you.
I told everybody to buy Netflix, right? At 177, went up to 1300. They had a stock split. And if you followed my position and you put 10K in, you would have made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But and about 4 people on my podcast told me I was going to lose all my money. So I don't speak to any of those people anymore.
Yeah.
Because for a few reasons. A, it was inappropriate to tell me that. Secondly, they were wrong, and I don't want to be around people who tell me that tell me I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to be poor, broke. It's stupid, and I'm stupid for doing it. And then it turns out I'm right. So like, because I want to hang out with smart people, or at least people who are going to entertain me. Yeah, at least that. Like,
so I'm never gonna tell you where to spend your money, but I'll entertain the shit out of you. I can do that, but I'm not, dude. I don't have enough money to know where to put it. So no, I'll just have fun. I'm more interested in entertaining than I am trying to make money. I'm not good at that.
I am somewhat good at making money. But it's also I'm also good because this is how I view money. I want to make a lot of money so I can have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's the objective, and I want to just protect myself so that I am perfectly fine, and I do that pretty damn well. Ultimately, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but and then I want to buy a bunch of cool shit, and I have a bunch of cool shit. I just haven't posted it yet up. All the cool shit I got. And I take my small victories. I take my small victories because my enjoyment on a Friday night is legitimately sipping my whiskey and watching anime.
That was pretty good, actually. I'm not an anime guy, though. I have to say, I watched the live action One Piece, and I'm digging the shit out of that.
Oh, it's absolutely great.
It's brilliant. I love it.
I can't wait. I think Cole Spicola is going to be Bon Clay.
So I'm like I said, I'm not an anime guy. I don't know anything about the series.
No, in the live action. So he did the Mary Todd Lincoln like Broadway play where Mary Todd Lincoln is like batshit crazy, and it's a farce of her in the White House, and like it's like dark humor, and she's talking about like ice cream coming out of like her vagina, and like all she wants to do is just like and so Cole is non-binary. And they, him, her, I'm not even sure.
Them, yeah.
And so Cole created this, right? And it's a farce. It's a fucked up, disgusting adult joke of something that is meant to make you like die with laughter. And all she wants to do is like be in like singing and dancing and like macabre or whatever it is or whatever, and she wants her husband dead, and this like happens right after Lincoln gets shot, and she doesn't really care that Lincoln got shot, and I mean this is like this is insane. It's but like it's this hot Broadway play, and like it's absolutely batshit crazy, and you're like, God damn, this is insane, but it's great, right? And you're already laughing, and you didn't even see it, and I saw it, and it absolutely great, worth like the $250 ticket. Like it was like maybe like 90 minutes, maybe like 2 hours. I forget exactly.
That's perfect for me.
It's fuckery at its finest. But like that's my point. Is that but One Piece live action novel is great. It's great. You don't need to be an anime guy. You don't need to be an anime guy to enjoy One Piece.
No. Yeah, I fucking loved it. It was so much fun. Love the character. And honestly, I tried to watch the anime and just was like, nope, not for me. But the live action, right down my alley. I dug the shit out of it, and I watched season 2 the second it came out. And now I'm like, okay, so where's season 3? Let's fucking do that. My Katie Seagal killed it. Love her. Interested to see what they bring back in the next one. How did you make me fall in love with a little reindeer boy? That makes no fucking sense, but you did. And I love that little dude.
I'm a big one.
Tony Chop or whatever the fuck. Like, how do I like him? But I do.
I love One Piece. I'm a One Piece guy. I love the live action. So I didn't see season 2. I didn't see season 2 yet. So season 1, I loved.
Dude, season 2 was better than season 1, to be completely honest. In my personal belief, and again, I don't give a shit about the anime. Like, I've never watched it. I don't know what's coming. People are talking about the shit, Brooks and this stuff. I don't know any of those characters. I don't know, but they killed it. I loved season 2 so much.
I mean, again, I think they did a crazy great job with it. I think Netflix did something that was absolutely amazing with it, and I think they did the best job they could have done with it, because usually live action anime sucks.
Well, what was that last one that they did? There was one named Cowboy Bebop, which again I only heard terrible things about. I never ended up checking it out.
People gave it. It wasn't that bad.
That's what I've heard too. I've heard like it's not worth the hate that it got, but it's also not great.
It wasn't off the chain, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't.
Yeah, and I believe that.
It was like it was like, you know, maybe like
it was fine.
It was solid. Solid for what it was. It wasn't Jupiter Legacy. That thing was a dumpster fire.
What's a dumpster?
My
ex and I went and watched that. Yeah, that was bad.
That made me want to buy Mark Miller a beer and a bottle of Jack.
Yeah.
We're gonna reenact Mice and Man. We're gonna reenact Mice and Man. We're just gonna go behind the barn and we're just gonna kill this thing. We're just gonna kill it, and there'll be beautiful rabbits and carrots and flowers, and we're just gonna take it behind the barn, and we're just gonna solve the problem. Like it would have been
one of my fucking all-time favorite writers. One of my all-time favorite books. Brian K. Vaughan, Why the Last Man. Was so excited about that. Came to HBO. I think I got to it got canceled after season 1, but I got to episode 4 and just went, nah, it's not gonna make it. And it got canceled really shortly afterwards. I couldn't make it. There was more episodes I could have watched, and I just went, nope, this is no good.
I love the Why the Last Man.
I love it, dude. I have all of the books. I've read it all. I loved it, but no, the live action was incredibly disappointing.
I have the deluxe editions, all 5 of them, and they're great. They're beautiful. Yeah. They're beautiful on my bookshelf. So I mean, it's up there with Fables. I love Fables.
I haven't read it, but I played the games, and they were amazing.
Fables is like candy to me. It's that and DMZ by Brian Wood.
Oh, I've heard really good things about DMZ.
Brian Wood. I mean, I love DMZ because I'm in Connecticut. I grew up in New York, right? So I know all the. I mean, I don't know how well you know Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens and all that, but I know
I've been there, but not that well.
I mean, I used to go in maybe 10 times a year into New York City, right? So when you're in the area and you know where all this shit's happening, it's a different experience. And I don't mean to sound like depriving you, but it's hard to relate when you're in the city and you know it.
I can relate because I'm a Torontonian and we have Scott Pilgrim. And Scott Pilgrim, that's a love letter to Toronto. And so I watched that movie. When I was in Texas, I would be missing home. I'd fucking watch Scott Pilgrim, and it's like I'm home again. I've hung out in that pizza shop. I watched my friends play at Lee's Palace on that same fucking stage. Casa Loma, I went to 4th grade for fucking a school trip. I know all that shit. In fact, so here's my fun little thing. One of Chris Evans' stunt guys, the other guys, is actually one of my good friends and is a stunt man. And so just all of that shit. So when you talk about DMZ, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I get it because I've got Pilgrim. So that's what Torontonians' version of DMZ is Scott Pilgrim.
No. I get it. But that's my point about DMZ is that I just know the area, right?
I totally get it. Yeah.
And it's a different experience when you know Central Park, right? And you're in Central Park a lot. And it's like Pokemon Black and White was the same thing. That was my neighborhood. Pokemon Black and White is based off of Jersey City, New York City, White Plains, and I grew up.
Know that? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So
parts of Brooklyn. So if you played Pokemon Black and White, you're playing in this area.
That's funny. That's neat. Oh,
it makes sense now, right? You look at a map, right? So all of these things.
I gotta look at the map.
X and Y, which is the Kalos, is based off of France.
I did hear that. Yeah.
So but Black and White was New York City in that area.
That's hilarious.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But it's cool. It makes sense. There's that big park in the middle of the whole game. That's Central Park.
Now I got to go look at that map. That's great.
Oh, brilliant! Just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I love the idea of that.
Such a great company. Good on Nintendo that they own 40% of that company. Most people don't realize that Nintendo owns like 40% of Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
So but I digress. I digress. Definitely not the interview I was expecting. We did it.
I know,
The
right? That's the fun of it, though. We never like. I didn't know I was going to be talking about fucking Pokemon and DMZ and any of the other shit we talked about. But that's why I love doing these shows, man. I even said it to someone. I was like, they're like, are you worried? Like, because they don't know this part of my life, and they're like, are you worried? And I was like, nah, man. Andrew's a fucking good dude. Like, I don't have to have anything prepared. We're gonna go out there.
Worried?
We're gonna have fun. Well, because to them it's like an interview. It's like, you know, are you? And I'm like, no, it's not the same thing. Andrew and I get along well. We know each other well. We know the universes that we're working in, and
so this is what I never understand, right? Like I've had people say, like, were you gonna sandbag me with something? Because people obviously don't like each other. I know people have problems with each other. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking sandbag somebody on this.
It's not worth it.
I have a fucking reputation to protect.
That's
like,
it. Yeah.
I don't like. I'm not saying I'm like a stuck-up prude, like an interviewer, but I treat it professional to a degree. I mean, you know, I like to curse on my show, and I think that's. I don't think that's unprofessional or not professional. I think it's just my style, right? But if I'm on a show where I can't curse, I'm not going to curse. But like, I'm not going to go treat this. I mean, we're having a good time. We're obviously more relaxed, but like, oh man, the fact that people are like, "Are you worried? Are you concerned?" I'm like,
well, they don't know our world, right? Like they're not used to doing interviews and stuff. These are normies whom I love so many normies in my life, but they don't know. They're like, so how's it going to be? And I was like, oh, dude, it's like talking to you. Like we're just going to be fine. So yeah. Not worried, had a good time. And you know what? You talking about swearing and stuff, because obviously Chuck gives a fuck. I swear all the time. And what I like to tell people, because I had someone, some family kind of come down on me and they're like, you're being unprofessional. I'm like, no, what you don't understand is media is not the same as it was 30 years ago when you were watching it in the 90s and you were like, all interviews have to be this way. We're all on the internet, and swearing is a part of the branding of life. It's all about giving a much more honest view of the person you're talking to. Watch like even big things like fucking Hot Ones, and you got Charlize Theron eating, going, "Oh, these are fucking killing me," and you're like, "That's Charlize Theron." Like, holy shit! But that's modern broadcasting now. Is because we're on the internet, we can say a little more of what we want to say. Those fucks, shits, and asses are gonna slip out, and I'm here for it.
I mean, I say a lot of things on this show. I mean, I've said crazy opinions that you're like, what the shit, man? Like, but like, again, I'm not gonna go censor my speech within reason. But I've been on shows where I'm a professional on certain shows, so like, you know, like I usually ask say, okay, I'm gonna try not to curse. You know, somebody's like, yeah, I get it. You know, if I'm doing an anime con in a panel, I'm usually not going to curse at that because I don't know the audience. Even if it's an over 18 panel, I usually don't curse in those. I say I'm going to try not to. If it slips out, I'm sorry. You know, it's not typically how I view. But when I'm on my show, it's my house, right?
Yeah,
that's just it. It's how I want to speak. Like. So that, but I agree. And so yeah, what were we saying? I bet.
Well, I did Free Comic Book Day the other day, and I told them like, oh, I work for this, you know, I work for Ethereal. They're an NSFW, and they said, okay, well, you know, we'd rather, you know, like we're worried about the nudity and stuff. And I was like, that's fair. So all the books I brought in, they were separate, and I had my own little thing for them. And I asked Dustin, and Dustin's always awesome. I just said, hey, Dustin, I can't do any of the nudie covers. And he went, not a problem, man. They sell good anyways, and usually they sell for more. So you don't want them, I'll make money off them. And I'm like, yeah, perfect, no problem. So I brought these books here, and he never had to deal with, you know, this owner never had to deal with any of that stuff, because again, he laid out the lines. He said, if you're going to be here, this is what I'd like, and I respect that. And so that's what I did. And so I remember right away I had someone show up and I went, how old are you? And he goes, 14. I was like, cool, those books aren't for you. Let's talk about these books. And that's what I did. And he still ended up buying some stuff, and he had a great old time.
I was at Free Comic Book Day at Oh Yeah Comics. So Holly Golightly was there and Dan Parrott was there.
I love Holly Golightly. Yeah.
On my show. She was just on my show. I love Dan Parrott. I met her only the first time I interviewed her. But the point I'm making is that you're not selling a nude book when it's Archie. like Archie was like so there's nothing wrong with selling an adult book, an adult themed book, but it was Archie themed, where they had a writer from Archie, they had an editor from Archie, Franco, who does, like stuff for Oh Yeah Comics. He's one of the co-owners with Mark. Like all of the you have to read the room, right? There's nothing in Archie that's gonna upset a 6-year-old. Maybe not a 6-year-old. You could be upset. You could upset a 6-year-old with anything, but you get where I'm going with this, right?
Oh, totally. And hey, if you want nudity in Archie, go to Cherry. Cherry does exactly that kind of stuff.
I have Cherry.
I'm sure you do. I'm certain you do.
No. I have that big book.
No, I know. I'm not lying. I'm saying I'm sure. I believe it. I fucking believe it.
Larry Welts was on twice.
Who was on?
Larry Welts, who did Cherry.
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
So I've interviewed him twice.
I'm not surprised by that even a bit. I think it's cool, but I'm not surprised by it. You've interviewed, it feels like everybody.
Oh, I haven't interviewed anybody. I mean, but I get around.
You were dropping names as soon as we started today. Like, dude, you definitely. He's talking about fucking Terry Kavanaugh and shit. I haven't interviewed nobody. Fucking liar. I love it.
No. I'm nice.
Denny O'Neil, fucking Denny O'Neil. He's talked to. He hasn't talked to anybody though. Andrew Davis hasn't talked to nobody.
No, I'm like, I just asked because what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm just going to get a no. I've had 3 people be assholes. 3.
In like 1,300 episodes?
No, actually, that's up to 5. But still, the point remains the same. But when I'm dealing with the individual, it's so much easier to deal with an individual than a fucking PR agent. I hate PR agents. I hate them. They destroy my soul. They're another one because some PR agents are great, right? Most of them are horrific. And when they start asking stupid questions, and the question, and then I get to the point and say, look, if I'm not a good fit, just tell me I'm not a good fit so we can move on faster.
Yeah.
And they never do that because they want to backlog it, and it pisses me the fuck off. Because I want it raw so I know where we stand.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, when you have the views or the viewership on your show, circle back to me. Fuck no. That's not how this works. I'm going to go forward. And I'm going forward. If your path and my path meet in 10 train stops down from here, that's great. And you want to jump on my train, awesome. But I'm not circling back to you.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
This train only moves forward. I like that.
Or whatever analogy you want to use.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's great.
And that's how I feel. So if you don't get on my train now, and maybe you'll come on in 3 stops. It's not a big deal. It's not an anger thing, but like let's just be real with each other.
Yeah.
But I hate PR agents. There's like 5 things I hate. The PR agents are like the number 1. They kill my fucking soul just because they all act pretentious.
Yeah.
It's the pretentiousness and it's the elitism that kills me. But I digress. I don't want to be negative.
You're all good, man. You're all good. So I'm gonna be a douche here. I actually have a show in another half hour. Just so everyone out there is aware, Henri Compan's Yisun Shin 11 is on Kickstarter now, and in about half an hour, we're going to be going live on Henri's show to say goodbye to that book. And so in the meantime, once you and I are done here, I'm going to go get me a drink, unparch my mouth, and then go back on for another hour or so.
On that note, I'm going to ask you 2 more questions.
Yeah. Hit me.
I think they're relevant questions. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on in comics and Kickstarter and that stuff, and the economy isn't necessarily great. A lot of oversaturation. and other things going on. And I'm just curious how your view of the state of Kickstarter and overall comics, because there's the not safe for W situation going on Kickstarter, and I don't even know what the hell's going on because I'm not really paying much attention to it lately. And and I don't get it because I don't think Ethereal's affected too much, but I see other people are, and I'm very confused on the topic, to
So
be
I would
honest.
say I don't think there's anyone who's unaffected by it. Let's be completely honest. Ethereal has
Fair
had
enough.
some really great campaigns, and for the most part, we're making money, blah blah blah. We're doing good, but we're not always up. We've had campaigns that have done like 30, close to 30 grand and whatnot, and that's
I meant about
getting
the
harder and harder to hit.
so I want to clarify. I meant about the not safe for work situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So for not safe for work, like again, yeah, like it's
that is
tough.
where I'm confused. Which I'm very confused on that thing. What's going on? But continue anyway, because I
But
asked a broad question. So continue. Sorry, I
okay,
just want
well, for NSFW, they're supposedly like they're having trouble with. I think it's like Stripe or one of those who's basically saying like, if you're gonna sell nude stuff, then we don't want to be a part of that. It's like, okay, that's been in issues on other. It's not as much on Kickstarter, but it is still happening here and there, and we have to be very careful how
yeah.
we show those things. Like a lot of them, there's marks all over it and whatnot. And you have to be smart about it. Just some of them are just big old black marks. But as far as just Kickstarter in general, I would say, and people might not want to hear this, I feel like that bubble's kind of burst. I'm not saying that Kickstarter is dead and the sky's falling. What I'm saying is that Kickstarter is not able to do for us, and we are not able to make the money that we were making on Kickstarter 3 to 5 years ago. Like 2021, I could easily hop on with almost anything and pull in 5 grand without a problem. And I would have a very difficult time doing that now for lots of reasons. But one of them definitely is because Kickstarter is really saturated. It went from like 100 to 200 books to 300 tops at any one moment on Kickstarter. And that's just comics. That's not novels. We're not talking about any of that. We're just talking comics. And so it's a lot, man. It's very saturated. And so it means, it doesn't mean don't go to Kickstarter. Doesn't mean any of that. It means you got to do the fucking work. You got to market. You got to be on these shows. You got to talk with all the cool people. You got to get your shit out there. You got to be pushing it, promoting it, doing every fucking bit of work. So if you want to make the money on Kickstarter, it's still there, but you got to fucking work hard for it and work way harder than we had to like 4 or 5 years ago.
Too. I'll throw this out there. You got to evolve too.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that, Facebook is a complicated place, but Instagram, YouTube is interesting now. For those who don't know, and I mean, I'm more than happy that if anybody wants to do a live with me on Friday night or something, we could actually talk about this in sophistication levels about YouTube marketing and how that platform has changed and how content is actually being consumed. It's something that I'm really, really, really deep diving into in the last 6 weeks, where short content is definitely leading to long form content, leading to sales. There's a reason why. Go on YouTube, and if you don't believe me, look at your YouTube homepage, and that'll tell you everything you need to know on what they're doing, where it's long form content, shorts, and then it's a mixture of the two down beneath that for a reason. And on mobile, shorts are actually being pushed front and center. Instagram Reels are big, TikTok's a big deal. So again, you got to evolve on how you want to sell your product. And I don't even post much Reels on Facebook because they do okay, but they kill it on TikTok and Instagram. But I digress. But I agree. I agree that the Kickstarter is hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
And big names on there. And I'm not one to prohibit big names, but I don't think they help. I don't think they help. I don't. I think
I disagree with that statement, actually. And I'll tell you why. I'm interested in your point, but I'll tell you why I disagree in a minute. You first.
My point is that I do think they bring people in. So when you have G.I. Joe from Image or you have the Keanu Reeves book, I think those products are awesome, right? I don't think it's a product issue. I think it's very similar to an MLM with, life insurance, like
Mm.
PHP, where I think it brings people in, but I don't think it translates over the way that I don't think it's a high enough translation over position. If you're there for GI Joe, you're there for GI Joe, and sure, you now
Probably.
have an account, you're now into it, but great, and there's the potential, but very few people get to translate over. That's where I'm going with this.
And I feel that. So my one example that I thought was so cool was I remember when, again, Keanu Reeves' Berserker came out, and it was going on at the same time. Obviously, I have so many comic book friends. It's going on at the same time as a lot of friends' books. And I'm checking out Berserker, and I never ended up buying it, but I roll all the way down to the bottom. And sure enough, I see my boy Kyron Silva's Saw the Lightning Wielder advertised at the bottom of there. And I was like, in what fucking planet can my dude Kyron, who is making a couple thousand, but like making $3,000 to $5,000 on Kickstarter, on what fucking planet can he have advertising effectively in a Keanu Reeves movie? None. But he can on Kickstarter, and that's fucking cool. It doesn't happen very often, and I get it doesn't necessarily translate, but that is a badass thing that they can't take away from you, and that's kind of cool.
No. I get that. Yeah. And with that, again, I think it creates accounts, but
yeah.
I don't. The translation occurs.
I don't think it translates enough into sales, but it does. But yeah, definitely not enough. One can only hope.
I view it as an MLM position and like a PHP or
kind of
Prime America and top line versus bottom line. And maybe it's because this stuff fascinates me, and it's not a direct correlation, but I digress. Yeah. And then, but this is a whole different position. I mean, this is like 9 hours worth of conversations.
Right.
I'm not saying they don't have a right to be there. I just don't. I don't think it hurts. I just don't think it helps.
It doesn't help as much as we need it to. Yeah, and I agree with that statement.
So, but I'm not one to kick people off. I don't kick people off of capitalistic positions.
No, it just means we have to fight harder.
Unless it's covert issues, which is a different issue completely, which means crony capitalism. But I have to prove that it's crony capitalism, and I don't.
Yeah, of course.
I can't prove that. I can't prove that one way or the other. But I digress. But I do want to give you a chance to promote yourself. So where can people find you, bother you, hit you up, disturb you, check out that show you're going to be on in 20 minutes, all that fun stuff.
What's up, everybody? I'm Chuck Pineau. I am a comic book writer and editor. I'm the CCO of Ethereal, as we said before. Right now, if you go on Kickstarter, 3 big books that I'm a part of. Cretaceous Biohazard 5, I wrote, I edit, and I just have an amazing team working with me. Stitches #1, which is a Babes Gore and Dinosaur offshoot for Ethereal, also a book that I have edited and worked on and love what we're doing with that. And the other one is Henri Compan. It's just finishing Yisun Shin issue 11. Go check it out right now. Absolutely amazing series. And it's going to finish with 12. So 11, definitely the time to come up because it's the second last issue.
And since it's my show, I promote myself. So I am Pop on Comics. I am back on Twitter. I got suspended for a week and a half, and they wanted to delete my whole account because I was criticizing the New York Mets for good reason. So if you don't want to
get going, Elon. Fuck you for that.
What'd you say?
Fuck Elon for that, man. Fuck that, man. He doesn't have to like all the Mets, okay?
They were playing really bad, and I'm sorry. I said that to that.
Someone has to say it.
A lot of people agree with me, and that's why I felt I was in the right here.
People have been saying "fuck the Mets" for like 100 years, so like get over yourself.
I was a little bit more creative. I said a lock and a sock. Oh, yeah. I said, we should just take some baseball bats instead of batting practice just with him in the batting game. I was very creative, so maybe I went a little over, but I thought it was over. It looked like 12 in a row. It was a little ridiculous, and then it lost like so many. Like out of 20 games, they won 2 out of 20. So I thought I was in the right here, saying Mendy's got to go, right? But you know what is? It's fine. We learned that Twitter is a fan of the Mets. That's what we learned. I said the same thing to the Yankees. No problem. Boston, they encouraged me.
I believe that.
So I don't really understand, but we now learned something, everybody. But I am back. So let's go Mets, right? The greatest team in the history of baseball. So let's go Mets. I am Pop Anime Comics on Instagram. I am Pop Anime Comics on Facebook. I am Pop Anime Comics on TikTok. I am Pop Anime Comics on the YouTube. Please subscribe. It's free. I'm trying to get to 950 by the end of the year. We are not even halfway there, but we are at 924. So if you haven't already subscribed, it does mean something. It makes me feel warm and special, and it's free. It's free. It's not going to cost you a dime, and you're going to get all my content. And there's like 2,100 videos, so there's something for everybody. And there's so much content there, and there's so much more content coming. In the next, there's going to be another like 400, 500 videos coming, and probably another like 90 to 100 interviews. So I can't promise I'll make you smarter. That I cannot promise, but I can promise you'll be entertained. You'll be entertained. I can assure you of that.
I can assure you too. He'll entertain the shit out of you.
And then the other thing I run two other things. So obviously I run an eBay store. Look for Comps on Collectibles. Come shop with us on eBay. And I sell books like this in my store. So I have all 15 of those. I have all 15 of these. Actually, I have 13 of these left. I have 14 of these left. I sell cards like this in my store. I'm running low on these. I sell stuff like this in my store, which are limited 25s. And then every once in a while, I bring in something like this, which is sold now, but it is a 101 Diana Taurasi card. And 101s do come across my desk. So, I do get stuff like that all the time. So you never know what's going to come in my store. And that stuff does sell out pretty quickly in my store. So that's the thing, is that's what's going on. And depending on what happens tomorrow, I might have some Toy Story stuff up tomorrow, of a very cool card set of that position. So yeah. And then I got some Nick stuff. I got a bunch of cool cards up there. So if you're looking for something, hit me up. And go through my store. Link is down below. If you don't see it in my store, ask me, because I may have it. Happy to list it. If I don't have it, I know a lot of people who are more than happy to sell you the product and direct you to what you want, because I get it. It's a pain in the ass to find stuff. And then the other thing I run is an Instagram, YouTube channel. So Instagram, it's Big Boy Card Collecting, and I post a lot of card stuff up and have a good time there, and post information about drops and other stuff. And then I do breaks and education on YouTube under Big Boy Card Collecting as well. And so that's my whole thing. So that's everything I got going on. And that's pretty much everything that I got going on. And on that point, I'm going to give you the final word.
You know what, guys? Keep coming out. Keep checking out these awesome creators and entertainers and all that kind of stuff. Because Andrew has been going for a while, but he ain't even close to done. My name is Chuck, and I give a fuck. Have a good one, everybody.
And I think that is a wrap.